jury find the defendant William R. Bryan guilty. Count 8, false imprisonment. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan guilty. Count 9, criminal attempt to commit a felony. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan guilty.
Let's go to Atlanta and speak to the civil rights advocate Chris Bruce, who is the political director of the American Civil Liberties Union in Georgia. Chris, thank you so much for talking to us. I know that you and I spoke at least a couple of times during the whole George Floyd trial. And I also understand the delicacy in asking you to look beyond the human tragedy of Arbery's case to ask you what you're thinking right now after the verdicts.
And let's keep in mind this is still a tragedy. The jury came back with the correct verdict to send these 3 white men to prison, and it was looking like for the rest of their lives. But I will be honest with you, as another Black man, as much as I appreciate a guilty verdict for all 3 of them, the thing that I would have liked the most is for a young Black man to be able to finish jogging innocently in his neighborhood and get home to his mother. That's what I would really prefer, that this would have never happened in the first place, and the overall impact that this has done to African Americans all across the United States of America.
I say to you that almost every single person in the world probably would be, or at least should be, thinking exactly the same thing. Arbery was 25. I'm 53. He could technically have been my son. And I understand, after all of these cases, the ones that haven't been reported, the ones that are historic, that are so long ago that they have almost been forgotten, that being a Black man in the United States is living almost the life of a second-class citizen for some people. So what does this case do for that, the cause for social and racial justice?
And you're right. If we look at this, Ahmaud Arbery was murdered on February 23rd of 2020. If you go back just a few years ago, on February 26th of 2013, Trayvon Martin, another unarmed Black child, was murdered walking home carrying some Skittles. And that individual was not found guilty of the murder of Trayvon Martin. So as you said before, there are countless cases that we don't even know of that continuously happens in America. This case in particular had a video with it, and it should not take for us to have video just to receive justice in the United States. This is a time when, again, justice is when, not when people just go to jail or prison. Justice is when this never happens again. So we continue that fight for justice.
Chris, what does it say to you when a prosecutor stands up in court and representing what that prosecutor represents in terms of their legal status in the American system and speaks to the jury and they're summing up and talks about Arbery having dirty, long nails? What does that mean?
Well, that is a disgusting moment to me when the criminal defense attorneys use that term, especially racially charged within this case. I'm a criminal defense attorney. I would never do something like that. And I think most modern day civilized systems would never do that as well. So when it comes down to it, situations where you have rape victims, you do not talk about the rape victims' clothing or what they were having. That is completely irrelevant. And it's attuned to really trying to impugn the jury. We need to do better. And within our legal system, again, the verdict was correct, but there are still problems with the legal system in the United States. That should not have been allowed, and the judge should have done something about it. But it's echoing now as a reminder that, again, justice is not done. We still continue to fight for justice. And as much as I hate to say it, there will be another case. There will be another murder. There will be another trial. We need to do better as a country altogether.
Chris, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate your time. Chris Bruce speaking to us from Georgia.